Hello everyone and welcome to another video from Miranda the Celebrant, where I discuss everything related to celebrants, weddings, funerals, celebrations of life, vow renewals, namings and so much more. And what a way to kick off 2026. It's a beautiful crisp sunny day outside and all is good with the world, so I thought I would pop on and talk about why I will never get sick of being a celebrant. And it's because I love having a front row seat to all the milestones of life and honouring and celebrating those in a way that is meaningful to the customers, the couples and the families that I get to work with throughout the year. Last year was a bumper year for me in 2025. I did over 34 weddings up and down the country and in France, and a number of funerals, and my funeral practice is growing, which I'm really enjoying. I actually really enjoy being able to hold the space for a family at the most difficult time of their life. I don't think that enjoy is quite the right word, but it's something that I really take with reverence, and I just really like the process of supporting a family because I've been there myself many times, and I feel that it's absolutely important that families feel loved, seen and supported regardless of what the milestone they're celebrating is. So, as we move into 2026, I am full of the joys of life and thinking about what I want to bring into 2026. And for me, that is balance. I'm actually not going to be doing as many weddings in 2026 because I need time to enjoy life as well. And last year was super busy. I am not fully booked for 2026 at the moment, but I'm actually seeing that as a bit of a blessing, and so my diary is open. In fact, I've got lots of bookings coming in for 2027, so if you're thinking about 2026, 2027 or even 2028, now is the time to get in touch with me to discuss your wedding for sure. And why don't I ever tire of being a celebrant? Well, for me, being a celebrant brings a lot of integrity, it brings meaning, it brings comfort, it brings joy, and it creates moments that galvanize us, whether we are the person or the people being honored and celebrated, or whether we are present in the audience. Throughout time and history and culture, we as human beings have always embraced ritual, and we do that today, obviously, in all sorts of different ways, and how ritual is embraced has evolved over time. But I always enjoy looking back at how ritual has been embraced in the past and bringing a more modern spin on that to now. And that's one of the reasons why I love being a celebrant. You know, no two ceremonies that I do are ever the same. I'd get bored if I did the same ceremony over and over. And it's about bringing your story to life, or the person that has gone's story to life, as a reminder, as a memorial, as a celebration. And it's about doing that in a way that is meaningful to you. It's not about doing it in a way that is prescriptive or prescribed by another authority. It is about doing it in a way that is meaningful and personal and customized to you. And that is the joy of being a celebrant, because I love being able to tell your story, to create symbolism and ritual, to help you to find the words that mean the most to you. And that process of guiding a couple and a family through that is so meaningful. You know, I come from a background in community work and social work. I've always loved supporting people in all sorts of different ways. I just get to do that as a celebrant now. I love building relationships and friendships with people. I'm still in touch with many of the couples and families that I've supported over the years, many of whom are now good friends. And to be there to support you, whether it's through a wedding and then a naming or with a funeral, and to see the same people again is such a joy, despite sometimes very challenging circumstances. So I will never get sick of being a celebrant because every ceremony I do is absolutely different and bespoke to you. I also love the process of writing, and it's something that I'm constantly evolving, constantly working on, writing ceremonies and then performing them. And again, I would get bored if I wrote, my process for writing was the same over and over again. I'd get bored if the way that I perform is the same over and over again. So I'm always looking at how I can bring more to how I write, the process that I take couples and families through and consult with them, how I perform, how I show up as a performer. You're constantly evolving, you're constantly growing. That is the great part of what we do as celebrants. And the part that we don't often talk about is how we market ourselves, how we get those bookings in the first place. And that's actually 80% of the job. And again, you can bring so much creativity to that. For me this year, I'm looking at how I do my marketing differently because I'm feeling slightly disillusioned and burnt out by social media. And although I've never put all my eggs in one basket or the social media basket, it has become a big part of how I market my business. Yet, I feel like I am speaking into a vacuum and it makes me feel hollow a lot of the time. And I don't want that this year as I strive for more balance. So I am going back to what I have always built my business on, but doing it in a much more intentional way and a bigger way, and that is building good old-fashioned face-to-face relationships. So if you're a venue, if you're a funeral director local to me, you'll probably get a call from me in the next few weeks, so look out. And I'm looking at how to build relationships with fellow suppliers that benefit both of us, that are about building a friendship first, and then the business will come for all of us. And that's really important to me because when it comes to your wedding day or to a funeral or celebration of life, you need the right team behind you supporting you, and being able to collaborate with and work with fantastic suppliers is always something that I've loved. Whether it's doing a styled shoot or working on a ceremony together or working on the aftermath of sharing how that ceremony went. I just wrote a blog over the last week about a fantastic wedding that I did last summer at Lammetry Gardens, and just looking at the list of suppliers that I collaborated with on that day just really warmed my heart and took me back to that day and just how fantastic a wedding ceremony it was for a beautiful, beautiful couple. So yeah, I'm looking at how I can do things differently. If you're a fellow supplier, does this resonate with you? Is this something that you're exploring as we move into 2026? I'm curious to know. I'd love to hear from you if that's something that is resonating with you. And if you are a couple or a family searching for someone who can bring the heart, the soul, the meaning, the joy, the gravitas and the integrity and authenticity to a ceremony for you or your loved one, then I'd love to have a chat. I do ceremonies all over the world and not just weddings. And if there is a need, then I will travel, because for the right people, for the right person, I will always be there. I have a celebration of life ceremony coming up in the Midlands in the spring, and that's for someone who passed away well over a year ago, but their family now feel ready to honour and celebrate their life in a meaningful way. Because you never know, we don't have to do funerals immediately. Sometimes you can do them much further on when people are ready to really embrace and talk about that person. I'm waffling, so I'm going to stop it here, but I just wanted to pop on, talk a little bit about 2026, talk about why I'll never get sick of this job and why I love it so much. So I hope that 2026 is all that you are hoping it will be, and I look forward to connecting with you in due course. If these videos are helpful to you, please go ahead, like, subscribe, click on the button below and comment. And I really hope that this channel grows over the year. Who knows? Let me know too if there are topics that you'd like me to talk about, if you'd like me to interview various people. I'd love to know, and let's make this channel something that is helpful and valuable to you. For now, have a great 2026. Lots of love. Bye bye.